It really captured my interest. I think it brings the desert to life, gives you a different perspective. One of the objectives of interpretation, when you read the manual and think, is to provoke interest, to spark the imagination of the audience. And I think this certainly does. It did for me. I love the Desert Rainstorm, and yet how simple. There's nothing, not one piece of equipment except his hands and his imagination. So, Steve, tell them a little about how you came up with this. This is a presentation that Steve did for his graduation from the Academy, and you will be doing essentially the same time presentation, 20 to 22 minutes, and probably formally give you the assignments tomorrow morning. But this is what Steve did for his graduation from the Academy, and the next presentation you're going to be seeing also is a cadet from about BBST 27, or 27. So this is BBST 22 and BBST 27. These are their presentations. They had, in Steve's case, a couple of weeks to come up with this program. In Kirk's case, again, maybe a little bit longer, three weeks, maybe? 2-3 weeks, yeah. So that's about what you have. This is what can be done with imagination. Steve.
With medication. Anybody have any questions? I know there's a couple of folks in here that are going out to Ocotillo Wells. Don't believe the stories. It's a wonderful place. It's a great place to learn. If you're shy on your medical skills, don't worry. You won't be anymore. You get to work with a lot of great agencies. You get to work with a lot of great people. I work with Fish and Wildlife, with Border Patrol, with every ambulance and helicopter driver you can imagine in the counties of San Diego and Imperial. And you might think that's a bad thing, but it's really, really rewarding. Especially when you get out there and, maybe you have a vision of a park in here right now and you get out there and, whoa, this doesn't match the brochure. But you do, you get hooked on it. And it's really a great place to learn and to explore this job. I came up from Ben Clark, and that was a little different situation. And I was really, really hungry to do the interpretive part. This is what I got into parks to do. And to be a little goofy around people and get away with it is always nice. And to get paid for it. But I have a really, really good time doing it. And, I think I visited Ocotillo Wells the day before my academy started. And at that time, I don't know how it worked for you guys, but at that time we got our choices. We ended our preview of the academy on Friday. And then there was Saturday, Sunday to get ready for the main event on Monday morning at Ben Clark. And on Sunday, they gave us our assignments on Friday night and said, okay, choose from this list of 13, I think there was. And it was Ocotillo Wells or Folsom. That's what I wanted to do. And Folsom was way up north, and I kind of sort of knew what that was about, but I'd never been to the desert. I always thought south of Monterey I'd break out in a rash. And it still hasn't happened yet. In fact, I'm hooked on the desert. But another story entirely. And I went out to Ocotillo Wells, and I got there. There was a ranger coming by who was still on FTO, lights and siren, pulled up to the front gate, and I was right behind her in a civilian vehicle with the haircut, going, hi, you don't know me, but I'm going to be a park ranger. I had a friend of mine that was going to the academy, and we're starting at Ben Clark Academy, and she kind of looked at me and ran off to get somebody. And then her FTO came out, and he's like, hi, yeah, well, we're going something right now. What's your medical background? Well, I'm an EMT, and he's an EMT. Hop on in. So the first day, we got to see a couple of helicopter loads. X-Files was filming its finale up north, so we went up there. We got to meet the producer of X-Files, and unfortunately David Duchovny wasn't there. He was down the road peeing on a creosote bush for some other scene in the program. But it was just really, the interaction of the people was really what caught me, and that's something that's really important to me, the interaction of the group on the ground. So got through that, came up here, and they said, okay, you got 2 weeks, do something. And I, well, this would be a funny way to present off-roading, because everybody has that stigma in their head. I've actually done this for off-road groups. I've changed the jokes a little bit. But I've done it for off-road groups, I've done it for volunteer groups. I even brought volunteer groups out from Anza Borrego, which is right next door, which I happen to work at now. And they were so hooked, they were against going into Ocotillo Wells. The place should be shut down. One day out there off-roading, and it's, let's go again! So it can happen to you. Who's going? I'll see you out there. You're going to love it. It's a great time. Again, any questions? You guys have a good time. You'll see me again, hopefully, and just relax and enjoy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Remember, one of the facts Steve told me a couple of years ago when I was out there in the middle of summer, 122 degrees, was that, and we didn't see one person between Anza Borrego and Ocotillo Wells, not one other person than us other than Steve. And yet, on a busy winter weekend, Ocotillo Wells will have over 200,000 people in the park. That's the range at a park like that. You go from absolutely zero to just so over your head, it's unimaginable. It's a really amazing place, the Southern California desert. We're lucky to have those. Again, Steve, thank you for your creativity and imagination. And go ahead and take a break, and we'll move ahead.